Hey, just wanted to check it in with everyone on the topic of raw probiotics and adding probiotics to the healthy diet. I mean, a lot of people who are watching this because we have something in common that we've really woken up to dietary, food, and wellness, and even beverage consciousness. A lot of people are really waking up these days and, of course, drinking more water and less alcohol and more raw and fresh juices and nice raw pasteurized stuff and uh, less, less dead juices and, just like Tropicana and like crap like that that's just covered in refined sugars and pasteurized with like thousands of chemicals. So, what I wanted to touch on is just a brief introduction about myself in terms of this topic. I'm not raw. I'm definitely not a raw foodist or a fruitarian. Went through that though. I am gluten-free vegan is one way to put it. I do eat totally a living foods diet, um, but I don't just restrict myself to raw food. Like I'll have some brown rice or things of that nature. Lately, I've been having this product called Beyond Meat, and it's a vegan chicken product that doesn't have any wheat gluten in it. Uh, One point that I'm really coming from is like when I cut out meat out of my diet like 3.5 years ago or whatever it was 3 years ago. Started eating a lot of like fillers that are well known in our society. Your pizzas and bagels and donuts and cookies and crackers and crap. So there's like so many things. It's like, oh well, it's vegetarian, but it's poison. It's junk. It's all from this like disgusting fungally infested, genetically engineered, altered wheat plant. Now it's not all wheat's GMO. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that they definitely did before. It was like one of the first like engineering of a plant. They changed the whole wheat plant for like hybridization of like the wheat plant in terms of making it. They like cross made it like a cross hybrid, in so essentially you could make white bread fluffier and softer. So they like altered the genes of it. This is like I think one of the first cases of like genetic splicing or engineering. Um, and then from my knowledge, it wasn't natural at all, and this created like problems with the plant and led to bug infestations and what I think is now a fungally infested crop. So, I don't eat any wheat. It's not that I have celiacs or really, problems with gluten other than that. But I mean, I even looked into like what gluten is, and like I thought it sounded pretty disgusting, and didn't really like. So what gluten is essentially like if you take all your like wheat flour, and you put it in a screen, and you spray it with a hose. Whatever like doesn't go through the screen is like the sticky like cookie stuff. That's wheat gluten. I mean, so it's probably even more disgusting than just like it's like the probably like the gnarliest part of like the wheat flour, and I'm not down with any of the wheat flour. So I mean, like a vegetarian, especially a vegan diet without any wheat gluten can be tough when you're buying stuff at the store because so much of the vegan burgers and meats all have like wheat gluten in them. But whatever. You can only do what you can do. So that's not, that wasn't working for me. So I just kept on keeping on. But now there's like Beyond Meat. Like I said, they came out with this gluten-free vegan product, and they're doing really well. Like they're flying off the shelves at like all the stores. So I expect more products to hit the market. Like for example, Daya just came out with pizzas that are all gluten-free and vegan, which is awesome. But yeah, people, I know a lot about all the companies because like I represent a bunch of different medicinal food product companies, and I'm always in like Whole Foods and various other natural independent stores like 6 days a week. So on top of anything that's new on the market, I've got my eyes and ears peeled. So I'll always be giving updates on new products on the market and what's good because I love to try everything that's gluten free and vegan. So kind of explain the gluten-free part. In terms of like why I'm not raw, okay, and I'm gonna stay with me. I'm gonna be getting to probiotics in a minute and why that's such an essential part of it. But why I'm not raw is I don't know. I think it just comes down to like too much sugar. Like the main thing I'll say is like it's just too airy, like too head. Like, it's like a head high all the time, and you're not grounded at all. And I love like the head high. I love that great feeling of just living vibrance and just like incredible passion and just feeling lots of energy. But it like it's just like too much in the head and. Uh, then I'll notice like my memory will get like real bad and I'll be like a space cadet. Like you're in the moment, which is a good thing, but like you have trouble like multitasking and like I feel like our society's like so fundamentally dependent upon right now like multitasking, especially with like my job and like a lot of the stuff I do. It's like I'm always doing like five different things at once, and when I've had jobs and stuff, I'm like going in doing like raw. It's just been a mess. Like I've always had like my worst days and people say, "Oh, it's because you're not getting enough calories." No, like I've strived to get like thousands of calories in a day going raw. Like I remember one morning, I was like, I just knew this wasn't working for me. But I just kept trying. So one morning, I had like 16 bananas and like four plantains. So it was like way over 2,000 calories plus like the greens and the blueberries and everything else in it, and still felt like shit. Went out, got some rice and veggies, and with a little bit of I guess tofu on it, and felt much better. So for me, I'm coming from like more of a balanced state. Like I don't agree with the demonization of fats, but I do agree that fat should be demonized for fat people. Fat people are always carb starving themselves, and what they really should be doing is cutting out all their meat and fat calories and dairy and all that bullshit. Um, so so that's essentially why I'm not raw. Is like I mean, there's so many other living foods you can eat. Like, so I'm predominantly raw, but I don't like trap myself in the ideology. Like, I just do whatever is best for me. And I've really enjoyed getting a lot more protein lately. A lot of soy protein, and a lot of people say you should get like 40, 50, like 60 grams of protein a day. Like, if you're like like a male like in your 20s and exercising a lot. So yeah, I mean, recommended dose could be about 50, 60 grams of protein a day. So that's what I've been doing, just about that. And before, like when I was like going raw and all that stuff, like hardly getting any protein. So I think protein's definitely got something to do with it. But what a huge change is probiotics, and I've noticed my body's really healing faster now that I have such a great form of raw probiotics, which is High Country's kombucha. Kombucha is a raw fermented tea, and like I'm not doing this for like marketing or advertising. I'm doing this for medicine, and I know like so many people in the raw foods and vegan community and health foods community and organic food movement. Everyone like just wants to have the best possible health, and they want to know about what's hot and what they have access to. And the main reasons I'm coming to these people is not necessarily because I know a lot of like the real healthy eaters out there. You don't have like digestion problems, which kombucha and probiotics are good for. It's not, you don't have the hangovers or the heartburns or the digestion problems that like a lot of the meat eaters and like sad diet eaters have. For you, it's all about nutrient assimilation. So what I mean by this is that a raw form of probiotics is going to help restore, reinvigorate, reinvent the wheel. And by the wheel, I mean it's going to restart, reconnect, reharmonize the relationship between gut and brain. Again, probiotics is going to reharmonize the relationship, the yin and yang between gut and brain. So again, I'll elaborate on this. The probiotics will serve as an information system, a mapping guide, if you will, to connect to the brain, and then from there, once the gut is equipped with the tools that it needs, the probiotics that it needs, then it can function like its true position as really the intelligence network of your lower body, of your whole digestive system and stomach and intestines. So most people don't know anything about probiotics. The only thing we know about probiotics in Western culture is that it's we say, oh, they've got probiotics in yogurt, and it's like, see the difference between like a true like raw like organic form of probiotics and yogurt is, well, one, it's not dairy based, and two, the most important thing is like those are like dead probiotics. I mean, they always say like 2,000 units, at form of bottling, because then like their methods that they package in does nothing to ensure that the probiotics it does nothing to ensure that the probiotics will stay at their peak, or essentially what I'm saying is the probiotics are just going to continue to decline because they're not packaged in a closed off package. Sorry, I got a lot going on here. Text messages coming across, and I got my dog farting in my face here, so it's like just sorry for that lack of thought. And I know people's attention spans are short, so just bear with me for one more minute, and I'll finish up on probiotics. So this is so essential, like I'm saying, because like a high country kombucha, for example, say you have 2 to 3 billion organisms at time of bottling. Well, they're in dark brown bottles. Like I'll show you a bottle. They're in dark brown bottles, like that, and that brown allows it to be blocked off from the UV light and protects it from the harmful sunlight. In this sense, harmful sunlight, because it kills off all the probiotics, all the cultures. So you've got to keep it airtight, and you've got to keep it blocked from sunlight in those bottles. So that's a couple reasons why. And then by keeping it in those bottles, the kombucha cultures continue to maximize and maximize, and rapidly increase up to the 9 to 10 billion CFU range. You can search benefits of kombucha, and there will be a video of me at Arnold's Way explaining even more about kombucha, and I'll post another video about that. But I'll just kind of, just stay off like explaining everything about kombucha. Of course, you can check out hckombu.com to learn about High Country's kombucha. So, yeah, I mean, in summation, it's just what's really been working for me is more protein, like hemp protein, and soaked beans, and like sprouted beans, germinated beans, and sprouts, stuff like that, like alfalfa sprouts, and all types of living types of protein are excellent, and even some soaked nuts, like soaked pecans. I've been doing that with like raisins, making like my own like trail mix or granola. Things like this I don't think should be demonized, but to each his own. So that's a couple things that have been working with me, and the probiotics have been working great because my body's healing so much faster when I'm done exercising, or when I have like anything wrong with me. Really healing up fast and recovering from everything fast, in terms of like, if like when I used to play basketball, I still play basketball a ton, but last year when I played basketball a ton and wasn't drinking like enough probiotics, didn't have enough probiotics in me, I'd be like so sore after, and I think this is a combination of being a little protein deficient and probiotic deficient, and I'd be like so sore, and like regardless of how much I stretch, and now like I don't stretch at all, I don't have to stretch at all, play for as long as I want, I never get sore, and after I play for hours, if I'm a little bit sore when I wake up in the morning, I'm 100%. Like last year when I wake up in the morning, I couldn't even like get out of bed, like limp around all day because like I was still like recovering. So I think it's amazing, and other benefits of probiotics are promoting healthy cell generation. Of course, you have alkalization through the normalization of pH, because this is such an alkaline formula. Medicinal tonic. This is a tonic that dates back to kombucha is a tonic that dates back to 10,000 BC in ancient Chinese medicine. So, like I said before, it's great for digestion and repairing the gut flora and the intestinal flora. It's great against bad bacteria, because kombucha culture is a friendly bacteria, and it starves out the bad bacteria, and it because the kombucha culture cleans up anything that the bad bacteria could have thrived on. Kombucha is a sugar-consuming symbiosis, which means it goes into your gut and eliminates and eradicates all excess sugars. So a lot of people will be like, "Oh, there's 2 grams of sugars in this bottle. Like, I can't have this." It's like, no, that's just because the kombucha culture needed the 2 grams of sugar to survive and thrive and stay alive, and that from there, that kombucha culture, because it was raised on organic sugarcane, it's going to go into your gut and eat up all the excess sugars that are going to lead to disease and cancer and stuff like that. Once they are stuck in your gut for 20, 30, 40 years and are never processed or eliminated. So I'm not going to talk your head off because I'm sure that was enough information right there. But just comment or something like that if you have any questions, and I'll be posting definitely more videos on this topic of probiotics and why I think they can really help out the healthy food consumer. The health nut or whatever people are calling us these days. I think my end point is that probiotics is the forgotten about thing in all this. Like, it's not something we're educated on, and I think so many of us are eating these great vegetarian diets, these great vegan diets and such, and things that working for us, but we're still not getting enough probiotics. Some aren't getting any probiotics at all, especially once you get away from dairy, you stop eating the yogurt, and you're really not getting any probiotics. So of course, this is what fermented veggie juices like kvass is great for, fermented teas like kombucha, and these raw living like fermented beverages are much better than like these laboratory born, or even if they're not laboratory born, these like synthesized like pill versions of probiotics. I mean, it's pretty backwards. You want a living probiotic, like not something that's like sitting in a capsule on a shelf. Like, doesn't really make any sense. So yeah, hit me up. We'll talk some more about all that. Peace, true peace at all. Not this Wiccan war shit. The peace sign. The peace sign really means war. If you don't know that, so I say true peace. Because that's what it's about. I'm not promoting subconsciously trying to promote war. So I'll give you the half love right now because I'm holding my phone with the other half, and let that, if I had another one, to make the heart to represent true peace. All right, yo, I'm out.